All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the channel. Today we're talking about the 7-3 Tennessee Titans big time game at home against the Cincinnati Bengals. Kind of a revenge game. Tannehill said it's not a revenge game for him because two completely different teams, but this is a big game because right now the big critique with the Tennessee Titans is that they have not beaten any team with an above 500 record. Well, at the same time, they've also won 7 of their last 8. They've won 7 of their last 8, and that one loss, as we know, was to the Kansas City Chiefs, in which they lost in overtime, 17-20, in Kansas City with their backup quarterback. So you can't pick your schedule, and this is, what is Cincinnati, 6-4? This is a big game, man. This is definitely a big-time game. Tennessee has a lot to, I feel like they have a lot to kind of prove here to not only Cincinnati, but to the AFC, to the NFL in general. They're coming off a phenomenal win on the road against my Green Bay Packers, in which they put up 27 points. You know, we talked about it in that recap video. Like, realistically, it could have been like 37. I mean, there were a lot of things going into it, but offensively, I feel like the box score doesn't really show how actually good and how efficient Tennessee was, 27-17. And, as bad as my Packers have been, it's a really hard game going into Lambeau where, we're practically playing for our season on the line. It was a very good win for them. So, like I said, you can't pick your schedule. So I hate when people are saying, they haven't beaten a team above 500. It's like, 4 weeks ago, they played Kansas City with their backup. What was it, the first or second week of the season, you played Buffalo. And, every good team, you're going to have at least 1 or 2 really bad weeks, and that was their really bad week. So they have Cincinnati, and I think what the difference maker for me with the Titans is the receiving game. And, keep in mind, Tannehill wasn't even fully healthy last week, right? So he played solid. He did more than enough. There was like 2 bad throws the entire night. One of them actually was intercepted. That was it was just a bad play in general, but we've talked about this with Tannehill. Here are his statistics. 65.1% completion rate. He's averaging only 210 yards per game, but 10 touchdowns, 4 interceptions for a rating of about 97.9. All I really need from a quarterback with a Derrick Henry and a top 10 defense, all I really need from my quarterback is 222 yards, 2 touchdowns, and no turnovers. That's like the biggest thing, is no turnovers. When we take a look at Tennessee's offense, they rank 24th in points per game at 19.3. I anticipate that for the rest of the season to steadily rise. I'm not saying, Tennessee's going to go put up 42 against Cincinnati. I think they got Philly the week after that in Philly. So 2 big weeks for Tennessee. The division's theirs, but you want to show you're competitive. You want to get that first seed in the AFC, especially win those tiebreakers, right? These are going to be interesting because the defense has done such a good job with all the injuries they've sustained, especially as of late. I mean, it's literally the injuries either pile up or it's like a week-by-week basis. Somebody new gets injured, somebody new doesn't practice, whatever the case may be. And their defense is still phenomenal. I mean, it is a phenomenal defense. It's actually 8th in the NFL in points per game with just 18.5. So with the Titans defense and a solid, I think game manager might be the wrong way to describe Tannehill, but just a solid quarterback who's going to make the proper throws. He's going to make throws. He's going to make plays when he has to make plays. Can make reads. Can adjust on the fly. Is a huge reason why they won that game against Green Bay, right? Because Green Bay pretty much game planned the entire defense around stopping Derrick Henry. I got a comment because I think Henry had, 87 yards? It was not a good game rushing the ball wise. He had that, he did have that shotgun on 4th down. He did have that passing touchdown. It's not like it's a low yard total, but Tannehill had to do what he did in order for them to get that win, right? The difference maker to me heading into the duration of this season is Treylon Burks. All right, he led the Titans in receiving yards, receptions. He led Tennessee pretty much in everything last week against Green Bay. And, this is the rookie, the first-round draft pick out of Arkansas. He's the X factor to me because you have Robert Woods, who it's not like he's having a bad season by any means. 30 receptions, 335 yards, a touchdown. It's not great. It's, not even that good. 33 yards per game receiving wise. It's just not great. We alluded to earlier, Tannehill's only technically throwing just a little over 200 yards a night. But Robert Woods, what we saw in Los Angeles in the last couple of years, we've seen it just everywhere in his career, is he's a wide receiver 2. He's a number 2 wide receiver. So when we had that game 2 weeks ago against Denver, where you had Westbrook-Ikhine go for 140 yards and 2 touchdowns. There was that flea flicker. That was just an awesome play. We'll talk about kind of the offensive creativity in a second here, but it looked like Westbrook-Ikhine was maybe going to be the wild card, the X factor, and now it's something to have in your back pocket. So now Treylon Burks is kind of your wide receiver 1 to me, the way I see it for the rest of the season. Robert Woods is perfectly in his role as wide receiver 2, and Westbrook-Ikhine is perfectly in his role as kind of, that wild card 3, receiver 3, that kind of wild card, that deep threat, just a reliable guy, right? He worked his way up from the special teams, and now he's got a bigger role. So I do want them, I always talk about OBJ, it'd be cool, whatever contending team possibly getting OBJ, right? That's cool. But at the end of the day, I like what they have. I like what they have, especially the tight ends as well, and then you have Derrick Henry at your running back, and Derrick Henry's having a phenomenal season. So offensively, I love the creativity they've been having. The flea flicker 2 weeks ago, all the shotgun snaps with Derrick Henry this past week against Green Bay. We even saw the throwing touchdown from Derrick Henry. So I really like the way this offense is getting more creative. They're getting less predictable. That's going to be important heading into the playoffs, heading into the postseason, because those plays, the flea flicker, where the defense is just so focused on Derrick Henry, and when he gets the ball, it's like, all right, we're going to tackle Derrick Henry, flicks it back, Westbrook-Ikhine is wide open for a touchdown. Those are, in the playoffs, those are gut-wrenching for the opposing teams. That gets your momentum back, or it keeps your momentum going. Those are game winners. So defensively, all I need the Titans to do is just get healthy. I really only need the Titans on defense to just get healthy. They are so deep, next man up. They're doing a phenomenal job. They're hard hitting. The communication is there. Everything is there, but offensively, even though you have a great defense, the offense is still going to have to get the job done on a week-to-week basis. And the last couple of weeks, I know Denver, only 17 points technically, but I like the way they're trending. I just like the way they're trending offensively speaking. So that's it for today, man. If you enjoy it, hit that like button, hit that sub button. Hope you guys all have a happy Thanksgiving. And I'll probably post another Titans video heading into that game on Sunday. So be sure to hit that subscribe button. Titans fans, you guys have been absolutely awesome, blessing every video I post on this channel. So it means the world to me. Give me your opinions down below on this offense, and I'll see you guys later.